For some of you, we did a live stream last night in the evening, and we don't normally do live streams in the evening. And while we were in the middle of doing live stream, we had our tricolored border collie in here with us, which we normally don't. And at one point, we were sort of struggling a little bit, and Bill said, "She's eating your zipper." And in the comments afterward, somebody said they wondered if Huntley and Brinkley ever had a zipper eaten by a dog live on air. And we did extensive research on this matter. We asked every AI entity we know. We looked into it every way we could, and we're pretty certain that we can say that I am the only person live on air who ever had a dog eat their zipper. And to answer your question, commenter, whoever you are, yeah, she broke the zipper on my jacket, but now she has been banned from the newsroom until further notice while we do the show. I always like to start with a follow-up on from comments, because we get some really great comments from all kinds of different things. Most of them are very nice, and we appreciate your kindness. But as you see, there's no border collie in here today, just Molly and Bella, and they're usually pretty well behaved. At least they don't eat zippers that we know of.
That dog's got a set of chompers on her like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. If you came to our house, you would notice that most of my shoes are up on the counter. You might wonder why. It's to keep her from chewing them. But in any rate, let's move on.
All right.
We've talked about a lot of some bad things, I guess, recently with shootings and other things. And I wanted to go into a little bit of good news. President Trump made an announcement on December 19th that he has managed to reach agreements with, I believe it's 14 pharmaceutical companies to lower their prices. Now, we've known for a while a lot of people have taken to ordering drugs from the UK and other places because they're a lot lower. Well, I didn't really know why. But it took somebody who's not beholden to the pharmaceutical companies and somebody who has the guts and the know-how to say, and he announced this price reduction, but he announced in the rally that he held last night in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, that how he did it. I mean, he just strong-armed them. He said, you lower your drug prices for the United States, or I will raise the tariffs against you. And they argued back and forth, and they went to their boss's boss's boss, and the boss's boss's boss said, do it. So that's...
Yeah, if you remember, during COVID, I was ordering ivermectin from a British guy who was ordering it from an Indian guy. But we got ivermectin in that way.
We did. We got. You can get other things that way. I still remember when we were in Ireland, I had probably the worst sinus infection I've ever had, and I went to the drugstore there, and over the counter they had the best medicine that I've ever taken for sinuses, and I wish I had kept a bottle of it so I would know what it was and could order it again. It was.
We still have an Irish guy who follows us.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember the name of it, so there's that.
Right. Okay.
But just as a few examples, first of all, the government is opening a new website where you can type in the name of your drug that you're trying to buy and see how much it is and where you can get it at the best price, I guess. But the website is trumprx.gov. And according to President Trump, he's not the one that named it that. It's trumprx.gov. And just to give you some examples, blood thinner medications will decrease from $750 to $16. hepatitis B and C medicines will fall from $1,425,000 to $413,250. And it's very important where that zero, they lost a zero. I mean, this is insane that all of these drug prices really didn't have to be this high. Now, I wonder, what is this going to do to the members in Congress who are beholden to Big Pharma? And they're not going to get as big a cut, I guess.
I guess they're not voting for Trump either.
Well, I don't know exactly what's going to happen with this, but I do know this is good news. I have heard of some people taking medications that cost them huge amount of money. I'm very fortunate, and I don't take any medication, but I would be excited to save that much money. That's a huge difference. 25,000.
And look at that skin. Look at this skin.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. In any case, there's that. But I wanted to talk a little bit about, speaking of names, which President Trump said he did not come up with the name for this website. Someone else did. The Kennedy Center recently decided to change the name to Trump Kennedy Center, and the Kennedy family is all up in arms about it. Well, I'm going to say something to that. The Kennedy Center, according to Rick Grinnell, was falling apart. It needed paint. It needed repair. It was a building that was about to collapse, in his words. And the Kennedy family was so interested in the Kennedy Center. Maybe they should have donated some of their money to repairs for the Kennedy Center. It just seems disingenuous to me to complain about something that you could very well have fixed yourselves. And President Trump is the one who allocated the funds. And Rick Grinnell has been working really hard on refurbishing, renovating, making it so that people go in, they don't fall, the walls aren't caving in. I don't know. Just seems to me. What do you think?
I've been there numerous times in my youth, and because it wasn't expensive to go. I mean, I think you could go for $10 and, see whatever the latest presentation was, and it was always first rate. But in later years, I understand it did start to decay from lack of funding, and Trump said, no problem, we'll fix that.
That's right. And he did. And so, and it wasn't his idea that we know of. Rick Grinnell is in charge of the Kennedy Center now. I don't know what director, I don't know what his exact title is, but this was a unanimous decision by the board of directors.
Which I can tell you are the wealthiest people in Washington. So that's a local decision.
And they made the decision, and it was unanimous. So if the family has a problem with it, tell them to donate money.
I haven't heard the family has a problem with it, but you read a lot more than I do. So
yeah, they have been.
Let them slide. They made a mistake.
Well, I'm just saying. I just wanted to make that point because I think it's important to make that point. They are not happy with RFKJ. They're not happy with President Trump, and they're just kicking up. They're just making comments. That's all.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're not happy with their own Robert F. Kennedy Jr. being a Trump supporter. I mean, it's obvious that that's a good thing for the nation.
Well, they're not happy with his stands either. They're not happy with all of the changes that he wants to make and all of the things that he's doing. They're calling him insane and crazy and all these other names. So I don't want to get into the Kennedy family drama too much. But the other thing that is happening that people seem to gloss over, I guess, is the DHS has managed to rescue 129,000 children that were missing during the Biden administration. Now, they found them, they rescued them, and that is good news, and that is wonderful. But, again, it goes to how hard was it to find them? I mean, we know that the Biden administration probably did nothing to try to find these children or rescue them. And that, they were trafficked and abused.
Yes, we can make some suppositions there, but we really don't need to. Money was involved, etc., etc.
Well, they lost track of these children after they arrived across the border illegally. I mean, the whole thing is just, you had these open borders, so all these people were pouring across, so you don't know who any of them are. You lose track of all these children, and you have the gall to say that President Trump put kids in cages when it was Obama who did it anyway. The whole thing. But I'm happy. I'm so happy that they rescued those children. Because that is.
Wonder how many more there are.
Well, it seems like at one point they said there were 350,000. So
that's half of them anyway.
Half of them anyway. And I think some of them were unable to be rescued and were found deceased, which is very sad. But they are working really hard on rescuing these children, and I think that's a wonderful thing. I think Kristi Noem is doing a really good job there. So they're cracking down on illegal immigration, which has made great strides, and they're deporting people and arresting people and sending them back, I guess, to their country. And then you have states like New York and Illinois who consider themselves sanctuary states who are doing just the opposite. It is astounding to me that, we're getting rid of them, and what they're doing is they're providing sanctuary to them. And they're not just providing sanctuary. Look, these people are not refugees. They're not providing sanctuary to people because they are refugees. They're providing sanctuary to criminals, people who have already committed crimes.
So they can be useful in tearing up the United States again.
Right. Right. These aren't poor, pitiful little people. They have released New York and Illinois, just two states, have released 9,000 criminal aliens from jails and prisons. They're not only providing them sanctuary, they're releasing them once they're arrested for a crime. They're releasing them back out into the population.
Once they feed them and get them all healthy and buffed up from then they say, okay, now go do your work in the country.
That's right. And there were almost 7,000.
These people need to be arrested themselves.
There has to be. It's just like when Andrew Cuomo put those people in nursing homes with COVID and killed people. There has to be accountability for some of this stuff. I don't care if you're the governor of the state. What help?
What does it take?
Well, the DHS confirmed that 7,000 criminal aliens flagged by ICE were released from custody in the state of New York during the 10-month period that DHS was looking into, which is probably President Trump's term. He's been in office for 11 months. And Illinois released more than 1,700 criminal aliens. Now, we're not just talking about releasing them from ICE or whatever. They were released from prison. We're talking about these were people who were released who committed crimes,
who were caught, adjudicated, found guilty, thrown in jail, thrown in prison. And the results? And the results are in New York, the crimes committed by illegal aliens who were in jail and therefore released. We're not talking about the crimes that they were in jail for. We're talking about crimes they committed after they were released into the public. 29 homicides. That's 29 people that would still be walking the earth today. 29 homicides, 2,509 assaults, 199 burglaries, 305 robberies, 392 dangerous drug offenses, 300 weapons offenses, and 207 sexual predatory offenses. Now, these are people that shouldn't even be in this country. There are people that should still be in jail, and they were just released. That's just in the last 10 months. Yes, and ICE has to now rearrest these people, which is not exactly a safe job.
Well, here's the thing. ICE doesn't have to necessarily arrest them. If they committed murder, they should be arrested by the Department of Justice of whatever state. Well, then is the state just going to re-release them?
I don't know. What can we do about these types of people who run these states?
Well,
and all you can do is unelect them. Yeah, I don't want to go down that road. I'm not suggesting anything.
No, we don't need to go down that road. What needs to happen is the people in New York, the people in Illinois, the people themselves in those states need to get serious,
realize what's going on, and take care of their business. For God's sakes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is about the voter rolls and the vote and the cheating, but the people themselves need to take hold of the situation. I'm sorry, but I mean, they need to be not unelected, but somebody needs to beat them in an election. And Elise Stefanik was running against Kathy Hochul to be the governor, and she has dropped out of the race. Now, I don't think that she's dropped out for any bad reason. She has a 4-year-old son that she feels like she needs to take care of. But
sorry, here it comes. Oh, do you need it back?
What? No, I'm good. But there it is. So
somebody wants to know if they're allowed to give their Facebook link and phone number
in the chat.
Yeah,
that's up to you. If you want to give your Facebook link and phone number in the chat, just realize it's public. I mean, put it in the chat if you want. We don't have any way to make it private, so that
Yeah, if you want to send us something, an email privately, you can go to stillreport@gmail.com. Send me whatever you want.
Yeah. If you want to put up your own, that's fine. As long as you're not using foul language, I'm okay. Whatever. I don't think there's any rule against it. Community rule against it. So there's okay. So are we? I mean, did we have anything? No. We're at the. I don't know what else you wanted to say. If there was something else that you wanted to talk about, okay. It's kind of quiet in here without Joy. Without chewing on.
I had fun on that report. She was sticking her nose in here and everything. Yeah, it was nice.
It was kind of interesting. We sit so close to each other. I don't know how she fit, but she did. Are there any other comments that you wanted to bring to the fore before we say goodbye?
Somebody says, in general, links can't be trusted. Stillreport@gmail.com can be trusted.
Okay. Well, okay. There's an answer. Thank you for that. And until we will not be doing a news at Noonish tomorrow. We will be back on Monday. But we will not be. Bill may be doing some videos, but we will not be doing a live stream together tomorrow, unless that changes. Subject to change.
Unless Trump arrests those people coming out of New York and Illinois, and then we'll cover that.
We'll cover that. So, have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Thank you for joining us. God bless President Trump. God bless the United States of America, and God bless all of you.